Bienvenidos toda la gente a este programa. I am your host, Francisco Frank Garcia, El Segundo, the Black Latin Prince, president and founder of the original Historical Music Society of Detroit. And as many of you know, we're also formed an organization called the Detroit Historic Musicians Association. The Detroit Historic Musicians Association is made up of virtually every musician that has contributed to the entertainment, the recording, the live stage performances of the music and the entertainment scene in Detroit, going all the way back as far as 1920, from 1920 to 1980. And it covers almost all of the musicians that you're familiar with, the late Popcorn Wiley, the late Mike Terry, the late Dale Warren. It also includes other musicians that didn't live here but that came here to record. People from Chicago like Sonny Sanders and Billy Davis and a lot of other people. But today what we're going to present to you is the foundation of our group, and each one of these guys are going to tell you about their particular instrument along with their experience in the business. But what I'd like to do is, I'm going to divert for a minute because what I want to do, I want to start off with one of the virtually hidden, unknown groups that was very instrumental in the formation and the ongoing production of Thelma Records. Those of you who remember Thelma Records remember that Thelma was originally started by Berry Gordy's first wife's parents, the Colemans, Robert and Hazel Coleman, and Don Davis, who now is president of First Independence Bank. And Thelma Records boasted such a roster of lineup of artists such as the late Emmanuel Lasky, the late Billy Kennedy, Eddie Hill, Martha Starr, Fabulous Peps, and others. And today we're going to be speaking with some of the members of the Minstrels who were responsible for a lot of the background work done on a lot of those artist tracks. They did a lot of things like hand claps, sound effects. They were also mediators in supplying a lot of the producers what they needed as far as on-the-spot production. And they have some magnificent stories that they're going to be telling you about the unknown history of Thelma Records, along with their personal history. I'd like to introduced to some and reintroduced to others. To my immediate right, which would be your left, we have Dr. Curtis Stevens. What's up, Kurt? You all right? Good to see you. Next to him, we have the magnificent, world-renowned, one and only, Thomas Postel. And next to Tom, we have another Tom. We've got Tom and Tom, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Thomas Burgess. How you doing, Tom?
All right.
All right. So we're going to start with Thomas Postel. Postel, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about Thelma Records and explain to them how the Minstrels were formed and how you all became involved with Thelma Records.
Well, if memory serves me right, me and Tom Burgess and another fellow named Tyrone Barkley, we were schoolmates. And just so I'm not sure who made the suggestion to start the group. I can't even remember that far back. But I do remember that we did get together. We did form the Minstrels. And before we were out of high school, we went looking to get a record contract. And somehow or another, we ended up at Thelma's. It was a little storefront record shop, a record label on Grand River, right across the street from Northwestern High School. And we went in and we met people like Cody Black. We met Mike Hanks. We met, of course, Thelma. We met Don Davis. Oh, God, the Peps. Rudy Robinson, he became my mentor. Lee Rogers, a bunch of other people. The names escape me right now. But that's
Kingfish.
about it. Kingfish, right? We met Kingfish. That's all I can remember at this point.
So you guys were in high school when you formed the group, right?
Yeah.
And what school were you in?
Southwestern.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. Now tell us about some of the talent shows you guys did.
We did the annual Southwestern Talent Show. How many did we do?
Tip Top Talent Contest.
Tip Top Talent Contest. Wonder Bread Talent Contest. I can't remember if we went to any other schools or not, but I do remember doing those talent shows at Southwestern. Now, how many? Again, I can't recall.
Now you were playing piano with the group at that time too, weren't you?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I was playing piano. Curtis was playing guitar, and Thomas Burgess here. He was doing the lead singing. But actually, that's about all I can remember. Really, that's all I can remember.
We did this show at YWCA. What was that? Talent show? We were in high school then. YWCA on the east side, Gratiot.
Yeah, well, like I said, I can't remember that. You have to put a man on that.
A long time ago.
Yeah, buddy. That part of the brain is gone.
Tom Burgess, what are some of your memories of Southwestern High School talent shows and the formation of the group in Southwestern?
That's what we're talking about. But we can't figure out how we ran into Tyrone. We don't know
Right.
where Tyrone came from.
Right.
He did not go to Southwestern, so we don't know where we met him at.
Sure we did.
Yeah.
Sure he did.
Yeah, he went to Southwestern.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did. Yeah, he was in the class before us.
Oh, before us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in the class before us.
So we all were separated by like 6 months.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
At least 6 months to a year,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Because just before we graduated, we had to take a class because Southwestern, they made you go to school the whole 8 hours.
Right, that's right.
So we had to take typing.
Right.
And you and I were sitting next to each other and we were saying, I don't know what we're going to type because we can't make a living doing this. And we were just saying it on the typewriter.
Yeah,
and
that's
you
it.
pretending with the piano.
That's
and
it.
he reached over and took my paper out, threw it on the floor.
Okay.
And said, let's just sing.
Okay.
You don't need to type. Little did we know they were going to come out with computers later. but-
Hey, there you go.
So we just kept singing along with Tyrone.
Yeah. Yeah.
What were some of the earlier songs that y'all sang before you hit Thelma's? You remember some of the songs you did in the talent shows?
Yeah, all the Motown stuff.
Yeah, some of them Temptation things, Farewell My Love, and
Oh, yeah, and Impression.
yeah, Impressions, right.
Now, what songs did you lead on, Tom?
Anything that Smokey had, anything to do with.
Okay, now what did Tyrone lead on?
Anything a woman had something to do with.
Okay, because he had the highest voice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about you,
Keep me
Tom
Tenor.
Costello? Did you?
Tenor, no,
Okay.
I didn't do, no, my
Well-
bowl was full then.
I guess between the piano and the management of the
That's
organization
right.
of the
That's
group,
right.
your hands
That's
were
right.
full.
Hey, it was full.
What's that song? Kim Wilson, Keep Me?
That's not exactly right. You kind
Okay,
of.
Dr. Curtis is going to diverge for a minute.
When we practiced, you led a few impressions too.
I did?
Yes, because you were
all
good with the
Well,
baritone.
plug me in, brother. Tell me what I did. Tell me in. Tell me
Thank you,
what I
Kurt.
sang.
Now, what songs did he sing?
Well, we had Never Too Much, Woman's Got Soul, Never Too Much Love, those kind of songs. Songs where the songs where when the Peps would come in and Joe would come up, she's got to change. You did a lot of that stuff.
Right.
So he sang a lot of baritone stuff.
Yeah, that was my station.
Okay. So you were singing baritone, Burgess was singing second tenor, and Ty was singing first.
tenor. Yeah.
Okay. And Kurt, you were playing guitar with him too at that point, right?
Right.
Yeah. What were some of your favorite songs from a guitar player?
Anything they did. What happened is one day I went over to Pastel's and he said, "We need a guitar player." And Tom said, "Yeah, we need a guitar player." And Pastel started schooling me on some of the songs and started, different chords and so forth. So, and that's how the three of us ended up trying to be together on everything.
Right.
So. But
I wish we could find somebody that had some of the yearbooks.
Had some of the yearbook?
Yeah, from like 60, 63, 64, 65, 66, and 67.
I have those.
You have those? Okay, well, we'll probably publish some of those pictures on the internet. Just so our fans can see exactly what we look like back in the day.
Ooh, I'd like to see myself with hair.
Now tell us how you got with Thelma. What about the contract when you signed the contract?
Talk to him, Bruce. Talk to him, Tom.
Looking through the yellow pages, trying to find a record company. I came up with a bunch of them. Made a lot of phone calls, and the one was interested. And I know we only needed to take 2 buses to get to Thelma's.
Right.
So it cost too much money to catch a bus thing. So I said, okay, I found a company. We caught the bus there and talked to them. We had to figure out a way to get our parents to come and sign because we were only 18 years old.
Right.
So we had to have an adult. So we got our parents there and we signed. And Martha Jean, she was the one that really talked us into it and said, you're going to love it. Martha Jean, the queen.
Right.
Had she ever heard you all sing?
Tip Top Talent Contest, you was
Yeah,
CHB
yeah,
then.
yeah.
Now, what year were
Somebody-
you in the Tip Top Talent Contest?
63 and 64.
63 and 64, right.
Yeah,
We
somewhere
come
around in
signed
there.
door to Fox.
Yeah, somewhere
Yeah.
around in there, yeah. Yeah, somewhere around in there. Like you say, that part of my brain is gone. I can't remember.
And we opened up the show at the 20 grand for all the major acts.
Oh, yeah, we did do a 20.
What kind of show did y'all have worked out?
We were just the opening act for the major, who was ever in the ballroom.
Right, the ballroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fireside Lounge or something like
Yeah,
that.
with
Gold
The
Room.
gold
some
room.
place
The
like
gold
that.
room. Yeah, because the
Yeah,
teenagers could
someplace.
do the gold room.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we were the opening act. 'Cause we came out in our clown outfits. They said, what do they call it?
What kind of outfits did you have on?
We wore the same thing every week. And then
Which consisted of what?
a suit, and then I would take some velvet and sew some velvet around the collar one week, and the next week I put some diamonds on them.
Oh, okay.
And then the
That's
next
pretty
week-
imaginative.
The next week I sew some other stuff on, and one
Yes,
week
sir.
I turned the
You see,
collars
turn the
up and sew
collars
some
up.
ruffles
That's
around
right.
it. So we look different with the same suit.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I taper the pants one week.
Yep. Yep.
And we had to try to get the feet in the pants, and I sew them up real tight. And with the same suit.
Hey.
Same suit.
Who are some of the acts you opened up for at the 20 grand?
Everyone that ever appeared there. Every act we opened for them.
Yeah, and it was just way too many to even.
Yeah, everybody.
Did you all have a relationship with Ernie Durham?
I didn't personally.
Never really met him.
No.
I ended up living before that.
What were some of the other places you played at?
Did we do the Redwood?
I think we did.
Yeah, we might even play the Webwood. I think. Like I say, it was so many other little places. You know, like he said, the YMCA and the Tip Top Talent Contest, and you know. So, I mean, it was a lot of news that you could actually tap into back in the day. I mean, they were all over the city. So
Now, you guys wrote some songs when you were at Thelma, too, right?
he did.
What did you write, Tom?
There's a lot of lyrics. And they would say, okay, we got too many lyrics, we'll work on them. We'll condense them for you. That's all I ever knew about.
Yeah.
So you actually did the editing on a lot of the lyrics.
No, I would write lyrics, but they said...
Okay, they say the lyrics were too long.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you found out later on, through me, that some of your material had actually been written with other people's names on it,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
And so you never got a penny from any of that.
well, but once somebody touched it, it was theirs then. Well, I understood. That's what I was told. If they used it the way I wrote it, it would have been mine. But since they took it and rewrote it, it was no longer mine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody copyrighted anything.
Yeah.
Okay, by the time that he had finished writing the songs and stuff, and like I say, we were ignorant to the fact that all of this stuff should have been going on. But that was some of the stuff that nobody told us, and like I say, we were just totally ignorant of that part of the business.
Well, that's one of the things that killed the music in Detroit, because the producers who really had the responsibility of schooling the artists never took the time to do so.
That's correct.
And I think that's why Motown ended up on top, because although they didn't school their artists concerning the paperwork, they did teach them stage presence
That's
and
right.
how to dress and
That's right.
other things to enhance themselves on and off the stage.
That's correct.
And the rest of the companies, they never did.
That's
They
correct.
took you in, they recorded you, and then they put you out in the street.
That's right.
Next thing you know, your song was being played on the radio, and if it sold 50,000 copies, they tell you, well, it didn't sell anything.
Right.
And that ultimately killed the whole music business for African American artists.
Hey.
Well, now tell us a little bit about what happened after Thelma Records.
What happened?
This one went to D.H.M.A.
What
on
we
Spring
did.
Boulevard with
Yeah.
Cody Black.
We left Thelma's and we went over to, I think it was on John and Grand Boulevard, yeah. Right on the corner there to D-Town Records, and that's where we met a fellow named Pete Hall. That's where we met Mike Hanks again.
Well, wait a minute, let me digress for a minute. Now, you met Mike Hanks over at Thelma Records, right?
One time.
What was he doing over there? Any idea?
He was probably writing or producing
Shopping some of the
something.
songs?
Probably shopping some of his songs. Because at that time he didn't have a label.
Right, he was still with Carmen Murphy then.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Carmen Murphy was the first entrepreneur who started the record business in Detroit. She owned the House of Beauty, and the money she made from that, she took it and formed her own record company. And she actually gave Berry Gordy some of his first funding, along with Maurice King, along with Mike Hanks. Lee Rogers was part of a group called originally the Peppermints, and then later on the Barons. And the history is so convoluted, that's why we are making these facts known to the general public, because when you say music and you say the